Well, and Carol, just a week after those two lawsuits were filed, Scott Foster's wife, Kathy, announced Rockstar Cheer is closed indefinitely. Now, that attorney I spoke with in comparing sex abuse scandals across the country, he said the question with this stems from who knew about the alleged abuse. Two lawsuits, allegations of sexual abuse over the course of years, and multiple victims. Rockstar Cheer in Greenville and its late owner Scott Foster are at the epicenter.
And the big thing is going to be is who had actual notice. That's going to be the question of who knew, what they knew, when they knew it.
The complaints also go after Foster's wife, Kathy, the U.S. All-Star Federation, and Varsity Spirit. The suits claim Scott Foster allegedly sexually abused athletes at Rockstar and at competitions while he was a member of certain national cheer organizations. Attorney John Reckenbile, who's not affiliated with the complaints, says they'll have to prove whether these organizations had notice of the alleged abuse and failed to act.
No question, if there's written complaints, of course, but if there's a witness that is corroborated to basically say, I told them years ago this was happening, then that, of course, is going to put the burden on then the defendants to say, well, no, we didn't have actual notice.
One of the lawsuits claims other coaches were allegedly involved in what it calls the, quote, conspiracy of sexual abuse. In order for any criminal consequences, Reckenbile says someone would have to be actively involved in the alleged abuse beyond knowing about it.
You have to be truly an active participant in the conspiracy, basically, to perform these sexual batteries upon these individuals. I think other coaches, may fall underneath the situation of where they have an affirmative duty to report.
As for what comes next, Reckenbile says a large part of it will come down to what resources and what, if any, corporation money would be used to compensate victims.
I think that's the biggest portion of the case that you're going to see right out of the gate for the next year. It's going to be insurance companies fighting to say, we don't have any responsibility.
And again, in comparing these allegations with those of other situations around the country, he points out some other allegations and situations were linked to major universities, for example, Michigan State University, Penn State University, which he points out have major state funding. Live in Greenville County, Kylie Jones, WYFF News 4.